Meet Nica, a teenager whose world gets flipped upside down when her new foster family adopts another kid she can't stand. But let's rewind a bit. Nica's life takes a sharp turn when she loses her parents in a car crash and ends up in an orphanage ruled by the iron fist of matron Margaret and her 3 golden rules: order, respect, and obedience. When Nica refuses to part with her mom's butterfly necklace, matron Margaret gets all cold-hearted and orders her fave orphan, Rigel, to snatch it away. Talk about heartless. But don't worry, Nica finds a silver lining when she befriends Adeline, her partner in crime. Fast forward a bunch of years, and Nica finally gets her shot at a real family with Anna and Norman Milligan. But wait, there's a catch. Matron Margaret's ominous reminder hangs over her head like a dark cloud, threatening to snatch away her newfound happiness at any moment. Just when things start to look up, the Milligans decide to adopt Rigel too, drawn in by his soulful piano playing. But Nica's not thrilled about sharing her new family with him, not one bit. As the Milligans show them around their fancy digs, tensions rise between Nica and Rigel. And when Nica catches Rigel being all mysterious with his tin box, she tries to strike a deal to keep their adoption dreams alive. But Rigel's not having it, warning her to steer clear if she wants things to go smoothly. Later, Norman, being the curious dad, decides to poke around and asks the teenagers if they were buddy-buddy back at the orphanage. Nica, trying to keep up appearances, lies through her teeth, claiming she and Rigel were practically siblings. But hold the phone. Things take a weird turn when Rigel, in his brooding way, backs up Nica's fib by touching her leg under the table. Talk about awkward. Nica, feeling majorly uncomfortable, makes a swift exit to the bathroom. Once there, she can't shake off the weird vibes from Rigel's touch, describing him as charmingly toxic. And just when she thinks she's got a moment to breathe, moody teenager Rigel shows up, giving her some unwanted advice about not running away. Nica's not having any of it, accusing him of playing mind games and demanding he keep his distance. She even drops a bombshell by calling him a Tearsmith, a character straight out of a creepy legend she heard at the orphanage. The legend goes like this: in a world where emotions are as rare as unicorns, folks seek out the Tearsmith, a spooky dude who hands out tears to help them feel stuff again. That night, Nica's dreams take her back to the grave, the nickname she gave the orphanage. She recalls a heart-to-heart with Adeline about the Tearsmith, doubting his existence and chalking it up to one of matron Margaret's scare tactics. But their chat gets interrupted when Peter barges in with news of Rigel's latest sickness. Curiosity piqued, Nica and Adeline sneak a peek and catch a surprising sight: Margaret actually caring for Rigel, something she never did for anyone else. But before Nica can make sense of it all, her dream takes a dark turn, with her feeling bound and trapped, jolting her awake in a cold sweat. After getting ready, Nica and Rigel hop in the car with the couple and head to campus. Just as Nica's about to cross the street, Rigel pulls her out of harm's way from a speeding car. Talk about a hero moment. On her first day, Nica clicks with Billy from the welcoming committee and her cool friend, Mickey. But Rigel's day takes a turn when he throws down with Phelps after catching wind of his less than honorable intentions towards Nica. The brawl catches the attention of Mr. Kirill, the science teacher, who steps in to break it up, with everyone watching. When Billy asks if Rigel is Nica's brother, she quickly denies any connection, wanting nothing to do with him. Back at home, Anna wonders why Rigel skipped dinner. Instead of spilling the beans about the fight, Nica brushes it off, saying he's just tired. Later in the kitchen, Nica finds Rigel icing his bruise. Curious, she asks why he decided to be adopted this time, especially after turning down previous offers. Rigel explains it wasn't his choice. When Nica presses for more, he shuts her down, asking for some space. Despite his coldness, she tries to help by suggesting how to treat his bruise, but he insists she keep her distance. In the morning, Anna tasks Nica with delivering Rigel's clothes to his room. But when she gets there, it's empty. Curiosity gets the better of her, and she tries to sneak a peek inside his cabinet. But Rigel catches her red-handed, giving her a stern warning to stay out of his business. Later, he corners her, questioning her odd mix of kindness and disdain towards him, dubbing her the Tearsmith of their tale. Nica, feeling the weight of his words, trembles with uncertainty, admitting she's clueless about what he wants from her. Rigel throws a curveball, challenging Nica's fairytale fantasies, arguing that life doesn't always wrap up neatly with a happily ever after. But Nica fires back, insisting they're not stuck in the same old story anymore. He reaches out and touches her face, urging her to imagine a fairy tale without a classic villain like the big bad wolf. But Nica's left speechless, grappling with the complexity of their dynamic. Fast forward to school the next day, where Nica's caught in the crosshairs of Lionel's advances, much to Rigel's chagrin. He steps in, shooting daggers at the unsuspecting suitor. Post-school, the Milligans take the gang shopping for new threads. Anna spots a knockout dress and encourages Nica to try it on. But as she's changing, Rigel's intense gaze unnerves her, and she rushes to finish. In the fitting room, a strange sensation sends shivers down Nica's spine as she feels a ghostly hand unzip her dress. But when she whirls around, she's met with emptiness. Anna returns, none the wiser, and helps Nica with a belt, unknowingly triggering a flood of memories. In her mind's eye, Nica revisits the twisted web of manipulation spun by Margaret, the orphanage's dark secrets, and her own struggles with darkness. She recalls the painful facade she wore for potential adoptive parents, a stark reminder of the harsh reality they left behind. As Nica gradually finds her footing after her recent struggles, she seeks solace amidst the lush greenery of Anna's greenhouse. There, under the gentle guidance of the nurturing woman, she finds a safe space to confide her worries and fears. Meanwhile, the school atmosphere crackles with anticipation as Garden Day unfolds, a unique tradition where students clandestinely bestow roses upon their peers, each color carrying its own cryptic message. While Mickey and her friend revel in the romantic mystery, Nica's discovery of a black rose in her locker sets her on edge, its ominous symbolism casting a shadow over her thoughts. Fueled by a cocktail of emotions, Nica rushes home, her mind swirling with suspicions aimed at Rigel. However, their confrontation takes an unexpected turn when Rigel's pent-up feelings erupt into a charged moment, abruptly halted by Anna's timely intervention. Outside, a chance encounter awaits as Lionel, a familiar face from school, stands on the doorstep, returning a forgotten item and extending a spontaneous invitation for an afternoon excursion. Despite Rigel's disapproving glare from his window, Nica accepts, eager for a change of scenery. Over scoops of creamy indulgence at the local ice cream parlor, Nica and Lionel engage in a lively exchange, delving into the intricacies of their respective pasts. As the conversation veers towards more personal topics, Nica shares poignant memories of her parents, her eyes lighting up with a blend of nostalgia and sorrow. As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the streets, Lionel leans in for a tender gesture, but Nica hesitates, her heart torn between the pull of the past and the promise of new beginnings. With a promise to meet again, she departs, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and the tantalizing prospect of what the future may hold. As she steps into the house, Nica catches sight of Rigel delicately releasing a butterfly he's caught, a moment that gives her pause. In that fleeting instance, she begins to reconsider her perception of her fellow orphan, entertaining the notion that perhaps he's not as dark-hearted as she once believed. Determined not to give up on him, she resolves to see past his rough exterior. However, her intentions to assist him are met with hostility when Rigel is struck by a sudden headache. Despite his sharp retorts and resistance to her help, Nica finds herself unable to harbor any ill will towards him. Instead, she holds on to the hope that one day she'll uncover the reasons behind Rigel's prickly demeanor, even as her own heart races in his presence. During dinner, Nica receives a distressing video message from Lionel, revealing that Rigel has inexplicably attacked him. Confronting Rigel upon his return, Nica demands answers, only to be met with cryptic responses and further frustration. Pushing him for an explanation, she's startled when Rigel refers to her as his Tearsmith, a puzzling revelation that leaves her reeling. Suddenly, her concern for Rigel shifts into high gear when she realizes he's burning up with fever. Hastily ushering him upstairs, Nica tends to him with care, despite the tumult of conflicting emotions swirling within her. Meanwhile, Anna and Norman, delayed by heavy rain on their way home from a business meeting, remain unaware of the unfolding drama. In their absence, Nica takes charge, assuring her worried foster mother that she can handle the situation. As the night wears on, a vulnerable moment between Nica and Rigel reveals the complexities of their relationship. Flashbacks to their time in the orphanage resurface, shedding light on the tangled web of emotions that have long existed between them. From Rigel's secretive gesture of keeping Nica's necklace to their shared moments of vulnerability, their connection runs deep, albeit fraught with misunderstandings and hidden desires. As Nica reflects on their tumultuous history, she begins to grasp the depth of Rigel's feelings for her, hidden beneath layers of pain and self-preservation. Despite his attempts to push her away, his actions speak volumes, revealing a heart torn between love and fear of further hurt. As the sun peeks through the curtains, Nica awakens to find Rigel lingering nearby, reluctant to release her from his grasp. Despite his silent plea, she gently extricates herself and prepares to face the day ahead. Meeting the arriving couple downstairs, Nica reassures them that Rigel's fever has subsided, alleviating their concerns. However, her own worries resurface when she receives a call from Lionel, prompting her to evade his attempts at contact in the aftermath of the previous night's altercation. Determined to avoid further complications, Nica throws herself into her studies and spends time with her friends at school, attempting to maintain a sense of normalcy amidst the turmoil. Later, she finds herself tutoring Mickey in science, only to stumble upon a startling revelation in the bathroom: Mickey kissing the unsuspecting Billy. Caught off guard by her classmate's confession of unrequited love for Billy, Nica urges her to come clean about her feelings, despite the risk of losing their friendship. However, Mickey hesitates, torn between the fear of rejection and the longing for honesty. Venturing into town for a shopping excursion, Nica unexpectedly crosses paths with Lionel, who confronts her about her avoidance tactics. Expressing his affection for her, he implores her to break free from Rigel's influence. Yet, Nica remains steadfast, acknowledging the enduring bond she shares with Rigel, forged through their shared trials at the grave. As their encounter reaches a tense climax, Nica's gift for Rigel, a delicate glass ball symbolizing hope and resilience, slips from her grasp, shattering on the ground. Despite her offer to replace it, Lionel insists that it's irreplaceable, underscoring the depth of her connection with Rigel and the fragile nature of their intertwined destinies. As Nica walks through the door, the buzz of Rigel's birthday bash fills the air. But things take a nosedive when Dalma and Asia, guests of her mom, start poking around in Nica's past. Before she can dodge the question, Adeline swoops in, her arrival a welcome distraction, courtesy of Anna's invite. As the party rolls on, Anna unveils Rigel's cake, even though he's not exactly feeling the birthday vibes. The mood sours a bit when Anna and Norman announce their plan to adopt Nica and Rigel officially. Asia's side-eye suggests she's not exactly on board. Caught in the middle of all this family drama, Nica spills her guts to Adeline about feeling like a square peg in a round hole. Adeline offers some words of wisdom, but Nica's still left feeling like an outsider, her past baggage weighing her down. Later on, Adeline floats the idea of taking down Margaret, the wicked witch of their orphanage days. The thought gives Nica the jitters, but she's not quite ready to face those demons just yet. Their heart-to-heart gets cut short when the guests start heading for the door. Nica's left to stew in her thoughts until Adeline pulls her aside for a chat. Outside, Rigel confesses he's got mixed feelings about Nica's adoption, but despite his own wants, he's all in for whatever makes Nica happy. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Rigel's loyalty shines through, proving just how deep his feelings run for Nica. As they navigate the choppy waters of their past, their bond grows stronger, anchored by a mutual commitment to ride out whatever storms come their way. As the night settles in, Nica finds herself beside Rigel as he tinkers with the keys of the piano, her regret for not having a gift for him hanging heavy in the air. But Rigel shrugs it off, claiming gifts don't matter, prompting Nica to offer him anything he desires. In a surprising turn, he leans in for a kiss just as the doorbell shatters their moment. It's Lionel at the door, concern etched across his face as he questions Nica's safety with Rigel. An uneasy exchange follows, with Lionel attempting to bridge the gap with a kiss, only to be met with Nica's retreat back inside. Returning to Rigel, Nica finds herself caught in a whirlwind of emotions as he urges her to leave and return to Lionel. But she stands her ground, leading to a charged moment between them. Yet, when she voices her desire to be with him, Rigel recoils, warning her of the damage they both carry. Despite her protests, he insists that she deserves a normal life, one free from the scars of their past. Their confrontation spills into the morning as Rigel makes a drastic decision to reject the adoption, confiding in Anna about his intentions. Meanwhile, Nica seeks solace in the company of her friends, only to be blindsided by a revelation from Billy about her anonymous rose giver. At the school dance, Nica's world is turned upside down once again when Lionel approaches, extending an olive branch in the form of an apology and a confession of his feelings. With a mix of uncertainty and curiosity, Nica accepts his invitation to dance, unsure of where the night will lead. As Rigel stands on the bridge, ready to make his escape from it all, he's hit with a sudden change of heart. Instead of heading back to the orphanage, he decides to make one last stop at the school, driven by an impulse he can't quite explain. Meanwhile, amidst the pulsing lights and pounding music of the school dance, Nica's head spins with dizziness. Seeking refuge, she follows Lionel to an empty classroom, only to find herself in a dangerous situation. It's only Rigel's unexpected arrival that saves her from harm. With Lionel sent packing, Rigel and Nica find themselves alone, their hearts laid bare in the dim glow of the classroom. They finally admit their feelings for each other, igniting a spark of romance that catches them both off guard. But their moment of bliss is shattered when Lionel reappears on the bridge, his threats driving them to the edge. In a heart-stopping moment, they leap to safety, narrowly escaping disaster. The next morning brings harsh reality as Nica wakes up in the hospital, her mind reeling from the events of the night before. Memories of Rigel's comforting presence flood her mind, offering a glimmer of solace in the darkness. But their joy is short-lived as the doctor delivers devastating news about Rigel's condition. He lies in a coma, his fragile state a grim reminder of the dangers they face. As Nica grapples with the uncertainty of Rigel's future, she clings to the tin box as a symbol of their bond. As Nica stands by Rigel's bedside, her heart heavy with worry, she's met with the cold stare of the matron, who wastes no time in placing blame squarely on her shoulders for what she perceives as ruining Rigel's life. Determined to break free from Margaret's grasp, Nica makes the courageous decision to press charges against her. But when the trial begins, Peter's resolve crumbles under the pressure, leaving Nica to face the daunting task alone. As she takes the stand, she's confronted with tough questions about Rigel's decision to reject the adoption and return to the orphanage's harsh environment. Refusing to back down, Nica bravely exposes the truth about their shared past, shedding light on the horrors they endured under Margaret's rule. She recounts the daily torture they endured, with Rigel forced to watch helplessly as his peers suffered. As the lawyer attempts to twist her words, insinuating that Nica harbors her own hatred towards the matron, she finds herself overwhelmed with doubt. Seeking solace, she retreats to the bathroom, where a glimpse in the mirror brings her face to face with her younger self, a poignant reminder of the journey she's embarked upon. Encouraged by Anna's unwavering support, Nica returns to the courtroom with renewed determination. She speaks not only for herself but for the others who remain silent out of fear, painting a vivid picture of Rigel's capacity for love in the face of adversity. As Nica's powerful words echo through the courtroom, the crowd erupts into applause, united in their conviction that Margaret is guilty of her heinous actions. Emboldened by the support, Nica wastes no time in rushing to Rigel's side, eager to share the news of their victory. With tears streaming down her cheeks, Nica pours her heart out to the unconscious Rigel, declaring their triumph over Margaret's tyranny. She whispers lovingly to him, calling him her Tearsmith and confessing her boundless love. In a miraculous moment, Rigel stirs from his slumber, his eyes meeting Nica's with tears of his own. As they gaze at each other, a silent understanding passes between them, a testament to the unbreakable bond they share. In the years that follow, Nica and Rigel emerge from the shadows of their painful past, their hearts lighter as they embrace a future filled with hope. Together, they navigate life's twists and turns, finding solace in each other's arms as they raise their daughter. And as she looks into Rigel's eyes, she knows that their happily ever after has only just begun. And that's where this video ends. Watch the next one and take care.